Holy cow. Holy cow indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Anthony Walker. Better known to you as Games Matter, if you want to call me that, it's fine. This is the Wrestling Matters Podcast, and welcome to an action-packed weekend of Wrestling Matters Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, because tonight, on this one, I'm going to do NXT's Stand and Deliver Night 1 and 2. I'm going to cram them all in here. And then I will probably do I don't know how I'm going to do WrestleMania. Maybe I'll do WrestleMania Night 1 and then do WrestleMania Night 2 separate. I don't know. Maybe I'll do them both. I don't know. I don't know. But I'll probably do the same. Yeah, I'll take notes for Night 1 and then go to Night 2 and then rewatch Night 1 again and all that daddy-da. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gents. But like I said, that's WrestleMania. I was pondering whether or not to do a prediction show for WrestleMania. Maybe I will, depending on what I feel like. But I doubt it. So I'll just get on with it. I might even do a prediction. I might even give you my predictions in this episode as well. So, oh boy, what a night, ladies and gentlemen. Stand and delivered, big time. Let's go through Night 1. Bronson Reed won the Gauntlet, which was set up on NXT TakeOver, on the NXT show. I like this. I have to admit, I like this. MSK win the tag titles. Now, for those of you that don't know, MSK were the Little Rascals in Impact Wrestling, if I believe. And they left, unfortunately. The third member stayed in Impact Wrestling, but MSK obviously left and went to bigger pastures, and now look at them, they're the NXT World Tag Team Champions. You know, it's basically what things can do. And it was a great match, great triple threat match, but I'm very glad that MSK won. And to be honest with you, don't be surprised if you see MSK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans feud for the tag titles. I'll be down to see that, to be honest with you. Also, Bronson Reed wins the Gauntlet. Who else? Oh, yes, and the new women's champion in Raquel Gonzalez as well, who's hanging around with Dakota Kai. Will there be some sort of split between them two? We'll see. But she's now walking around with the women's title. But the two matches were the highlight of number 1, in my opinion. And the two matches that, in my opinion, were worth watching were the match between Pete Dunne and Kushida. And you've got to love Triple H. You've got to love Triple H, man. You know, their little thing that they had in the Battle Royal, they had. You know, because they both eliminated each other in the Battle Royal. I can imagine Triple H being backstage. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. That'll kick off Night 1. Stand and deliver. I could just see that happening. Quite frankly, I don't blame him, to be honest with you, because it was a great match. Not the match of the night, but I'll get to the match of the night in a minute. But yeah, I don't blame Triple H for doing that, to be honest with you. Because if it had been me, I'd have probably done it myself. So I mean, like I said, don't blame him one iota of him doing it, to be honest with you. Also, ladies and gents, the match of the night, though, was Tommaso Ciampa versus Walter. Awesome match. Ciampa was smart in this match because he was working the hand. Didn't work, but he was working the hand of Walter, because Walter is known, if you've watched Walter matches, ladies and gentlemen, for having the most vicious chops in the wrestling business today. You take a chop from them, you'll have a handprint as big as, well, it's probably twice as big as mine. I don't know. I never measured Walter's hands with my hands, but that dude's got some big hands. Let me tell you, and I can see that happening with him as well. And like I say, I do not blame him one bit for that. Like I say, he's got the vicious chops, and he actually won with the chop as well. Like I say, it was an awesome match, hard-hitting, stiff, rough up match, and at one point, Ciampa almost had him. I'll be honest with you, Ciampa almost had him, but Walter is still the NXT UK Champion. Walter is still the NXT UK champion. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't see anybody's beating him. But everybody talks about this long title reign. And yeah, it's very difficult to have the title to do anything during a pandemic. I'll admit that. It's very difficult to do that. NXT UK Championship, NXT UK. He couldn't have done anything. But this long 2-year title reign, it's basically because of the pandemic. Yes, Walter has been phenomenal. He's been a phenomenal champion. Okay, don't come at me with that, please. He's been a phenomenal champion. And he's the baddest hombre in the land. And I cannot wait if they, to be honest with you, I hope they don't do it, but I know they will at some point. I hope when he comes to the main roster, I ain't talking NXT, we're talking Raw or SmackDown here. I cannot wait for him to come there, because if he's used right, first of all, him and Imperium will take over. They could be the dominant thing, but at the rate things are going with factions nowadays, i.e. the Hurt Business, they'll probably split up if they came to Raw. I would keep him on NXT, but if he comes to Raw or SmackDown, I'd probably go to SmackDown first of all, because I don't know what planet Raw's on at the moment, like I say, with the Hurt Business and everything. But he could be a dominant WWE and Universal Champion, only if he's booked right. That's why we hope, at least I hope one day that what's his face? Triple H gets involved on the main roster, the Raw and SmackDown booking. Because if he isn't on the main roster and Vince is still booking, Walter might find it difficult. I think it would be best if he just stays within the NXT radar, quite frankly, for his sake at least. Because if he goes to Raw or SmackDown, depending if he gets over with Vince and everything, and if Vince is still around, Vince could mess him up, and in the wrong way too, and that would be a shame, because that guy could dominate either Raw or SmackDown. I mean, think of the matches he could have on Raw. You know, Drew McIntyre. I'd pay to see him and Bobby Lashley one-on-one. See if Lashley could take one of his chops. Ooh, baby. You know, and heck, even Brock Lesnar, should he come back. You know, oh my days. You know, think of the matches. And same with SmackDown too. Daniel Bryan. You know, Daniel Bryan. Or Roman Reigns. Oh boy. Chopping him. Mm-hmm. You know, and even Edge too. I'd like to see Edge take one of his chops, you know. But Walter needs to stay where he is, man, because, like I say, he's dominant where he is. And like I say, people probably vouch at it, say, oh, he's the longest reigning champion, but he's the only champion because of the pandemic and everything. But who cares? Simple. Who cares? You know, maybe he would have been 2-year champion if there hadn't been a pandemic. We don't know. Like I say, we don't know at the end of the day. As far as night 2 goes, let's just get this out the way. Blackheart and Ember Moon retained the tag titles. Highlight of the match was the dive that Blackheart did through the legs of what they call it. Through the legs of what's her face? Ember Moon. She dived through the legs, and I think if it hadn't been for the guardrail, she meant to dive on top of the two opponents, but she went so fast she almost hit her head, or whacked her head on the backboard and everything, the guardrail. And if the guardrail hadn't been there, I think the guardrail saved her. If you go back and watch the match, the guardrail saved her, because where she landed, I think the guardrail cushioned the blow a little bit. If that had been there, that could have been awful. Could have been awful. But, yeah, the NXT title match, tag title match, ladies tag... excuse me. The NXT ladies tag title match wasn't neither here or there. Neither was the North American title match, to be honest with you. Bronson Reed and Gargano retaining. Yuck. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't a fan of them two matches, to be honest. I love the Jordan Devlin and Escobar match. His two cronies got involved, but so much good stuff in that match, man, for real. Spanish fly off the ladder by Devlin to Escobar. A moonsault by Devlin off the top of the ladder. So beautifully done. But it was kind of predictable because John Devlin was NXT Cruiserweight Champion. The pandemic ruined that. Let's just get that right. Escobar comes in, and obviously they've gone with Escobar, haven't they? So, yeah. But that's the whole thing in there. 2 titles, what do? You stick a lad in between, hang him up, see who's the man. And at the moment right now, as far as the Cruiserweight division goes, it's Escobar. And I wouldn't blame if they had another match. I wouldn't be sorry to see that, quite frankly. I think these two could have a great feud, if I'm honest with you. Who else is there? Gargano retained. Oh, yeah, and the final 2 matches. Well, they went with Kross. To be honest with you, this match was a little predictable. It was a great match. The match wasn't predictable in respects of storytelling. As far as winning goes, because, let's face it, Balor's done well to be champion up until this point. And done well doing what he's done. But what you've got to understand is, ladies and gentlemen, is Kross never lost the belt. Karrion Kross never lost the title. I called him Killer Kross earlier on in the stream. He never lost the belt. I think he did through injury. And obviously Triple H wanted him to have a dominant run. And Balor, although thankfully Balor got the belt by beating Adam Cole in the first place to have this long run, to be honest, and I hate to say this, but to be honest, Balor was holding it for Kross to come when he comes back. And obviously they were going to build Kross up, which they did. I think they had him face Punishment Martinez, Damian Price at one point as well. Or they had him feuding with him. But we all know at some point Kross was going to go for the title and get the belt back. And then now he's probably going to have this long run that he's got now, or that he's going to have now. And rightly so. But that's what happened. Will Balor get it back? Probably. I do see him getting it back. I do see him getting it back. I do see him getting it back. Diving the... will he get it back? Who knows? I got told that there was going to be an NXT title match at WrestleMania. That's what I was... From what I was reading on the dirt sheets and everything, they were building up to that. That's what they were building up to. Would they do it? Who knows? But that's what I saw. From what I saw, that's what they were building up to. An NXT Championship match. But I don't know if they're going to go that way. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. But, yeah, it's... but I'm glad Kross is the champion, like I say. Hopefully this feud will continue. Hopefully they do have a match at WrestleMania, because I'd like to see Kross and Balor at WrestleMania. What night, I don't know, but I would like to see it. Will they go that road? Probably not. Probably not, because I think WrestleMania is going to be action-packed as it is. It's already action-packed as it is, the 2-night deal. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And as for the unsanctioned match, anybody who went into this match expecting a wrestling match, you're an idiot. Okay? Let's just say that right now. We all knew from the get-go that this match was going to be a fight. And boy, was it ever. They went through the ramp. They just beat the living crap out of one another. And they stood and delivered tonight. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly won. I'm glad he did, because now this sets up nicely for Tuesday, when NXT is now back on Tuesdays now. They've moved to Tuesdays now. So this sets it all up nicely for what's going to happen. And what I mean by that is, where's this going to go? What's Adam Cole's reaction to this? Is he going to end this? Or is he going to be as pissed off as he is? Or has been at Kyle O'Reilly? You know, like I say, are we going to see like a Ring of Honor feud type deal? Because these two killed each other tonight. And they would have killed each other if this match hadn't took place. The way they were going at it and one another. But, you know, thankfully this, you know, came about and everything. And like I say, it was just like the old feud, like they had in Ring of Honor, because these two did feud in Ring of Honor. And it was just great to watch. It really was. Just tremendous to watch. And fun to watch. Just enjoyed watching it and everything. And it was just fun. It really was just fun. And thankfully, and like I say, Kyle O'Reilly won. And it's interesting to see where this go. Are they pushing him to be the next NXT champion? I don't think they're going to... Maybe they will have him beat Karrion Kross. I don't know. I don't see that happening, no. But I would like to see Kyle O'Reilly as NXT champion. You know, just to see where that goes. Because that would be a huge deal. In that respects also. And it'd be interesting to see where that goes too. But I would probably think that Kross is going to have a long, tremendous title reign, in my eyes. How long this title reign would be, who knows? But I genuinely think that that's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I really do. It's, like I say, it's clear as day Triple H wanted him to be the guy. You know, he beat Keith Lee, got the title, and he obviously wanted him to have this dominant reign, promote him as a monster. You know, who's going to stop this guy? Who's going to stop Kross? Who's going to be the man to stop Kross? You know, but obviously injury stepped in on that, didn't it? So, you know, so it is what it is at the end of the day. You know, when injuries step in like that, you can't do nothing about it. But now he's got the title and everything. Hopefully now he will have the run that he deserves. And I'm very intrigued to see where NXT goes next after tonight. Very intrigued. But GG NXT, man. You did deliver. You stood and delivered. And big shout out to Poppy too, man. You know, I said that apparently the NXT theme song was Rob Zombie's song. But Poppy came out and performed Stand and Deliver, which was Adamant. Shout out, man. Because that's a perfect theme song for that pay-per-view, or for that show. Stand and Deliver, Stand and Deliver. I used to play on TikTok, I played the Adamant thing on there as well and done all that stuff and whatnot. But, yeah, it was what it was at the end of the day. But we'll see what happens, guys. We'll just see what happens. But like I say, big shout out to Poppy. I'm looking for that version because that version is actually pretty cool. It's a pretty cool metal version of Stand and Deliver. And she's great. I like it. She's great. I wouldn't mind listening to that. But like I say, I can't find it at the moment. Hopefully I will do. I probably will at some point. But in any event, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed it. 10 out of 10 for what they call it. 10 out of 10 for TakeOver tonight. Just spot on. Really was spot on. Let me have a look to see if there's any... why do I go on? I'm so keen to go on the what I call it, man. I mean, good grief. You know, I don't even want to go on to WWE the network or anything. I just want to go and see this. They did go with a tag match for WrestleMania. It was promoted as a tag match. Miz and Morrison taking on Bunny and Damian Price. They did go with the tag match eventually. They didn't go with it at first, but they went with the tag match because they thought that Price and Morrison were carrying injuries. That's why they booked it as a one-on-one thing first. But they've decided to go with the tag match, which is crazy. But it is what it is. We knew it was coming. Right, preview. Let's have a look. Have we got the matches on here? I don't know who is going to, or what's going to be on what, but I do have the matches here. So why not? Let's give you a WrestleMania prediction. Naomi versus Mandy Rose. Naomi and Lana versus Mandy Rose versus and Dana Brooke versus the Riot Squad versus Natalya and Tamina in a tag team turmoil. Honestly, I kind of want Natalya and Tamina to win, if I'm honest. Do I see it happening? No. No. I'm sorry. Something tells me Lana and Naomi are going to win this match. Because the winner of this match faces the Women's Tag Team Champions night 2. That's night 1. The winner's going to face the night 2. Yeah. It is what it is. I genuinely think that it's going to be Naomi and Lana winning that, and probably winning the tag team titles too. I could just see that happening. I'm sorry, guys. You're probably thinking, "Oh God, God help me," and all that, and I don't blame you. But considering where the tag team division or the tag team champions and what they've done to Lana over the months, putting her through announce tables, bullying her basically, all fits in. So yeah, I could see that happening. I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will end up being Kevin Owens' win. That's just a match for them to smack each other about, and a match for them to be on WrestleMania together, because IRL are the best mates, aren't they? So they're the best of friends. So this is their dream to have a match, at WrestleMania, and that, and they're going to have it. And I think Kevin Owens is going to win that match. But there'll be more to the feud, trust me. The United States Championship, I think Sheamus is going to win that match, to be honest with you. I think this is his fallout to the WWE title. He should be WWE Champion right now, to be honest with you. And we should have had that Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus match, if I'm honest. Just saying. It should have been, because I would have booked Sheamus to win the Chamber, not have the cash-in that happened and everything and what happened and that. I would have had Sheamus to win the Chamber match and have Drew McIntyre get his rematch at WrestleMania and have these two have the match at WrestleMania. That's what I would have done. But WWE for you, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, Sheamus will probably be United States Champion. I'm not doubting Riddle, though, because Riddle's been awesome. But I think Sheamus will be United States Champion when it's all said and done. Braun Strowman, Shane McMahon. Braun Strowman wins that match. I mean, they've already bullied and killed Braun Strowman enough, WWE, Vince McMahon and that. And to have him lose to Shane McMahon will be the icing on the cake, quite frankly. I genuinely believe Braun Strowman will destroy Shane McMahon and get his revenge for Shane McMahon's antics as well. And Shane McMahon will probably dive off the cage or whatever it is and do something spectacular. Hey, it's WrestleMania. But yes, Braun Strowman wins that match too. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. Damian Priest and Bad Bunny win the tag match. I'm sorry to any Miz and Morrison fans, but you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. Okay? You're not stupid. Come on. Who else is there? Cesaro, in my opinion, the match that's going to steal the show. Yes, there's the championship matches, but the match that's going to steal the whole WWE show, at least one of the matches that has the potential, at least, to steal the whole card and steal the whole WrestleMania. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Now, this is going to be a show-stopping match, and I'm very much looking forward to this match. But Seth Rollins is Seth Rollins, and he's tremendous. Cesaro has to go over in this match. This is WWE's opportunity now to give Cesaro a push. And what better way to start with Seth Rollins? A singles push. What better way to start now with Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins putting him over. And then you could use him to his potential. Give him an Intercontinental Championship. Give him a United States Championship. Well, hell, put the freaking Universal title on the guy. You know? Or hell, if you want to risk it, go give him the WWE title. I wouldn't mind seeing a Drew McIntyre versus Cesaro match, to be honest with you. But this is his time now, and this is WWE's time to pull the trigger on this guy and use him to his full potential. If he doesn't win this match and Rollins wins, WWE are not going to use him at all. This will be me, pretty much giving up on Cesaro in respects of getting anything on WWE. I will never give up on Cesaro on his talent because he's fucking tremendous. But as far as him getting anywhere in WWE, other than the spot he's in right now, if he doesn't beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, he's going to stay there forever. Bottom line. United States, I've done the United States title match. Intercontinental Championship match, Big E and Apollo. This Nigerian drum fight, which I'm guessing is a street fight. At least I'm hoping it's a street fight. For the Intercontinental Championship to settle this rivalry. Is it time for Big E to drop the title? I don't know. I'll let you decide that. But yes, they're pushing Big E to the moon. But is it time for him? If he drops the title, then he needs to go for the Universal title. Or at least he needs to push towards the Universal title now. If he drops the title to Apollo. I wouldn't mind seeing Apollo with the Intercontinental Championship. He's been US champion before. And this new heel persona that he's got is pretty good for him as well. So it seems to be working. But he needs... If Big E drops the title, this is the only way I would accept Big E dropping the title to Apollo. Nothing on Apollo, but the only way Big E will drop the title to Apollo is if they're going to push Big E to the Universal title or the WWE title. The Universal title since he's on SmackDown. That's the only way I'll accept it. If not, then Big E needs to win. You know, if they're going to have him drop the Intercontinental Championship, he needs to go for the big one. Or whatever it is, Universal or WWE. He needs to go for that. Okay? If he's not going to go for that, keep the belt on him. But he needs to go for the big belt if you're going to drop the title. Or you're going to have him drop the title. Rhea Ripley and Asuka. They haven't done fuck all with Asuka as women's champion, if I'm honest with you. They haven't done shit with her. She hasn't defended the title or anything. I don't know whose fault with this, management or whatever, but I believe that Rhea Ripley will be your next Raw Women's Champion. You know, and then at some point it'll be her and Charlotte Flair going for the belt. I just see that happening. What is claimed and tipped to be the main event of night one, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Anyone who thinks Sasha Banks winning this match, you're a tool. And I've seen some people hate on Bianca Belair, saying that she's trash and everything, she shouldn't win, Vince needs to release her and whatnot. If you believe that, you're an idiot. Legit. And you're not a wrestling fan, you're a mark, okay? This woman is super, super talented. And she is the next woman to have the torch for the SmackDown Women's Division. And at WrestleMania, she's going to get it. She's going to beat Sasha Banks for the women's title. Okay. The Fiend and Randy Orton. I think The Fiend will get his revenge. Love me some Orton. I think he's the best thing going in WWE at the moment. No disrespect to anybody else on the roster, but I think he's the best thing going at the moment in WWE. So love me some Orton. But I think The Fiend's going to get his revenge at WrestleMania. Is it going to be a 5-5 Funhouse match that they claimed it was going to be? I don't know. Don't care. Whatever happens, The Fiend wins. I did the Sasha Banks thing. This Raw Tag Team titles situation. You know what? I'm going to save that for last because I'm going to have a little bit of a rant on that. Okay? I'm going to have a little bit of a rant on that. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Anybody who thinks Bobby Lashley is going to retain, again, you're an idiot. Drew McIntyre is going to win the belt. Why? Because WWE wants him to win the title in front of an audience. And this is the perfect chance to do it. Okay? Yes, he won. He beat Brock, but it was not against a crowd. And he's won the title in front of the Thunderdome crowd as well by beating Orton. But this is Bobby's chance to have it in front of the crowd. Or Drew's chance to have it in front of the crowd. And win it in front of the crowd. And make it extra special than it should have been when he beat Brock. Period. That's what's going to happen. No doubt about it. And like I say, I'll get to the Bobby Lashley situation with, the tag titles thing. But, yeah. Where this leaves for Bobby, I would push Bobby and I would give Brock Lesnar whatever the fuck he wants to come back. And then I would build Bobby up for SummerSlam to have this match with Lesnar. If you're not going to have the match with Lesnar at WrestleMania, then you need to have the match with Lesnar at SummerSlam. That's the only way you can have this match. You can't have it anywhere else. Anywhere else, it don't mean shit. Survivor Series or anything like that. No disrespect to Survivor Series, but there's two shows that is where this match should be taking place. Whether it's Bobby Lashley, whether it's Bobby versus Brock, it should be at WrestleMania or it should be at SummerSlam. Period. It should be WrestleMania or it should be at SummerSlam. If it's not going to be at WrestleMania, fuck it, SummerSlam. Period. Take a drink, because boy, oh boy, it's going to be tough. At the end of the day, ladies and gents, Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. Oh boy, how did we get to this? They added Daniel to spice up the main event a little bit. I'm not buying the garbage, the spices, because it was Edge and too old and everything like that. Rubbish, in my opinion. But as far as what's going to happen, you want to know the ultimate reason why they brought Daniel Bryan in this? Because Roman Reigns is going to lose at WrestleMania. Period. This head of chief thing is going to end at Mania. I'm not mad about it, but it's going to end at Mania. However, he is not going to be the guy to take the pinfall. Vince has brought Daniel Bryan in to have either Daniel beat Edge or Edge beat Daniel to win the title and make Edge and keep Roman, not vulnerable, if you will. Not vulnerable, not, how can I put this? To not kill his gimmick, let's just say. Roman's had his time and he's had a tremendous run. Will he have another run again? Probably. But that's why they brought him in, to keep this gimmick and not kill the gimmick. Because if he takes the fall, I will admit this right now, if he takes the fall at WrestleMania, the gimmick's over. Head of chief, tribal chief, done. Okay? Someone has to pin him to officially kill the gimmick. Okay? It ain't going to happen at WrestleMania, though. He's going to lose the belt, but Edge will either pin Daniel or Daniel will either pin Edge or make some whatever. I believe wholeheartedly Edge is going to be your Universal Champion. Why they let Daniel involved in this, I do not know. Like I say, it's probably to spice up the WrestleMania a little bit. But yeah, I genuinely, wholeheartedly believe that Daniel Bryan will not be Universal Champion. It'll be Edge versus Daniel Bryan. Probably at WrestleMania, and Edge will probably pin Daniel Bryan to win the title. I genuinely believe, though, they'll have an Edge versus Daniel Bryan feud after this as well. Who knows? They may have a rematch. Like with Benoit, Michaels, and Triple H. They may go for another rematch again. Depending on how good it is, of course. But yes, Roman versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. Edge will be your new champion. And as far as the Raw Tag Team titles are concerned, you need to give these up. First of all, I wasn't a fan of New Day winning. Nothing on the New Day, or what's left in the New Day. Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods. Great team, great talent. I love them to pieces. But they should never have won the tag belts from the Hurt Business. And then you have established teams. And you've probably got one of the most talented wrestlers on the roster in AJ Styles. Yet, you put him at WrestleMania, you could have him in a match with anybody, and it'll be probably the match of the night. Except you have him with his big bodyguard, and it's like a carbon copy of Kevin Nash and Diesel. Kevin Nash, Diesel, and Shawn Michaels back in the day. Right, Diesel wasn't black. But this big, huge monster, Manu, who used to be the bodyguard for the Underground that Shane McMahon used to do, you brought him in to be the bodyguard. Now, that's worked out tremendous. Don't get me wrong. You know, it's worked out tremendous for AJ, and it's tremendous for him because he's a rookie. You know, whether he's big or not, he's a rookie. So it's tremendous that he's learning from someone of a stature of AJ Styles. But to have his first match at WrestleMania in a tag match, okay, I understand why you've done it, because, hey, he's probably green as goose shit, but you've got somebody like an AJ Styles who can carry him in a match, even though he probably doesn't need AJ Styles, because you should just turn him loose as a big, huge monster. I mean, you've seen what he's capable of. Morrison hit him with a chair, and the chair exploded on his back. You know, have him that kind of way. But nothing on AJ or Manu. If they win the belt, Omos, sorry, what did I say Manu for? I apologise, Omos. Right? Nothing on AJ and Omos winning the title. Where did I get Manu from? Oh, it's late. It's tired, I'm late. Oh, it's late, I'm tired, whatever that saying is. But Omos, if these two big, you know, the big guy from the Underground, these two win the tag belts, then, in my opinion, the tag belts are going to be more meaningless than they already are. WWE needs to put the SmackDown tag team titles and the Raw tag team titles together and just have one big undisputed tag team division. Because these titles are not going anywhere. Yes, in terms of tag team division, if I had to pick the best tag team division at the moment, or the reasonable, respectful tag team division at the moment, I would say SmackDown. Yes, it's got some weird tight teams on there, but at least they've got something over there that people, you know, teams that compete for the belt. Manu and AJ, again, Manu, fuck off. Omos and AJ, sorry, another team. Yes, Omos is the bodyguard of AJ, but they're not a tag team. So hopefully New Day will retain. I just see AJ winning. I just see the AJ and Omos winning this match. And if New Day do retain, AJ's taking the fall. No way is the big man taking the fall. Oh, no way. AJ will win. It will take the fall should that happen. And I don't know where they're going with AJ, but I don't like the direction he's going. I'm being honest with you. But anyway, guys, that about wraps it up for this podcast. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Give you a little bit extra there on the podcast with the predictions as well. Stand and deliver, spot on. Hopefully WrestleMania will be spot on too. So we'll see what happens. I'll be back over the weekend with another podcast. This is going out ASAP, so it'll be on the channels, the YouTube channel and the Facebook page as well. I will probably do night 1 and 2 together again, like I did on the Sunday night. Like I say, I record after night 2, so I will probably do that then. So, like I said, makes it easy for me. And like I said, just cram it all into one big podcast. It's fine. But yeah, so I hope to see you guys then for that next installment. That's coming over the weekend. Granted that I could stay up to watch WrestleMania, because I do plan to watch WrestleMania this year, both nights. And yeah, hope to see you then, guys. So enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it is you're doing, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Peace.